What is going on, everyone? Commodore last today, bring to you guys my live reaction to Kaguya-sama Love is War manga chapter 232. Now, the chapter has finally come out. I saw that it came out technically late last night as I was about to go to bed, but I said, you know what, man? Let me kickstart the day by reading the latest installment of Akasaka's masterpiece, especially coming off the break and then with work later and stuff. I need this chapter, man. But I didn't realize we were on break technically for last week. Like when I read 231, because I thought, okay, the break's gonna come like around this time now, but no, it was actually for last week. So I've been like struggling in pain, man, after that Osaragi like bombshell, where it's like it just completely flipped everything that I thought I knew. Like, we know that there was a friction going on with her and Iino, right? But for her to say outright all those things to Kaguya in that moment, and then, of course, probably one of the most wildest pages I can imagine in the series that I've read so far, of Iino at the door, dude. Like, oh my god! If you want to like say like what moment embodies like drama, like the aspect of drama and stuff, right? Like the genre, just that feeling of drama. It's that moment right there, man. And bro, if I see Iino cry, I said sorry before, man. I'm gonna be a mess. Like, I can't deal with it, dude. Like, she's worked so hard to get to where she is right now, trying to actually, make friends with people and stuff, become a better person. But now seeing this thing with Osaragi, it's now gonna really test the both of them to see whether or not this so-called fake friendship will end up breaking, or could it end up making a bond afterwards. Was there gonna be effort from either side? We're going to have to see. I still feel Osaragi might have to be the one to make the effort, but I feel like for Ino's character, it might actually be a lot better if she could also be the one to do it, because of how she's able to now make friends at this point in her life. Can she keep a friend? It's one thing to make. Can you keep a friend? But the fact that we're going in now into a flashback back to the middle school days. Oh, man. Like, I'm legit scared of, like, learning more of this truth and what's to come from it. And the fact that this thing came in early, because I think it's supposed to come out next week, but I got it early now. I've been rereading 192, literally, like, probably my most reread chapter so far in the series. And it's just like, look, man, I know people are going to say what they want to say about Osaragi. They don't feel sympathy whatsoever. But honestly, anyone that's been in her shoes and what she had to go through, like, I completely understand where she's coming from. I don't maybe agree fully with how she's handled herself, but if you fail to understand why she's acted out the way that she did, then all I have to say is either you have to reread it or you fail to miss the point. But without further ado, man, let's get into it. We have to see what Akasaka's gonna do. Is my heart going to break? Am I going to find some kind of sanity to bring me out of the abyss? We have to find out. Let's go. 232, Kaguya-sama, I was going to say it straight up. I was going to say your true name there, but Kaguya Shinomiya's Impossible Challenge, the Buddhist Stone Begging Bowl, Part 7. So good, we're continuing with the theme. And we're sticking with the damn flashback. Oh no. Here we go. Miko-chan and Ishigami weren't always on such bad terms. You see my guy right there playing on his Vita and stuff, of course, because it wasn't... Well... yeah, but I'll say the Vita. I'll say the... Well, I mean, it could be the Switch, but I'll say the Vita. Suichin is an elevator school, so the two were already familiar with each other, and they were both aware of each other's reputation as well. Well, we knew that already actually before, because of the way that some of the students had switched over and everything. With the only exception being was Miyuki, because he came from the outside and stuff, and that was something that he was ridiculed a lot in his first year. Ishigami-kun. Playing games again. Wait, guys. Hey, it's trying to beat the levels. Come on. Back when Ishigami, Iino, and Osaragi were in middle school. Look at my guy. Iino-san, a friendless delinquent and a wildly resented disciplinary committee member. I warned you last time, didn't I? I'll have to confiscate it this time around. That was the nature of their relationship. Like, at least let my guy beat the level first before you take his console away, man. Come on. In fact, if anything, Miko-chan may have felt a bit of sympathy for him. Say, Ishigami-kun, why did you quit your club? No reason. I just finally realized that I wasn't cut out for it. Oh man, don't do this to me. Oh, Ishigami was a football. No, don't do this to me. My top one giving up soccer. Oh man. Oh, the dagger in my heart, man. I tell you, Akasaka knows. Akasaka knows. They know Ishigami your favorite. You love football. Guess what? I'm gonna break your heart right now, man. I've always been pretty decent at sports. Ever since elementary school, I've been playing soccer just because I feel like I had to. Okay, the reasoning, that's where we differ a little bit, but still, you're football. You play football, so you're a good person. But in all that time, I never really thought of it as fun. I never had the talent for it. It just took me until now to figure that out. At the time, Ishigami had just quit his club and had lost sight of his own goals. Before then, his circle of friends consisted only of his teammates. But once he quit, the feeling that he had turned his back on the team made it hard to keep hanging out with them. See, that is something I think anybody can honestly relate to. Like, once you, like, back out of something, unless you have some kind of common ground in regards to that, or just something that can keep the conversation flowing, there is that awkwardness afterwards where it's like, why am I still sticking around? Like, if I'm not, let's say, for example, if you're, like, in some kind of club, and unless it has something related to do with the club, like, that's the only thing that's going to keep you guys together. I've seen that many times happen before, growing up and everything, and, it's very, very relatable in a lot of ways, man. But yeah, now all alone, it seemed like he was having trouble figuring out what to do with his time. Which is, that's the tough part too. Once you back out of something afterwards, you're kind of just left stagnant. You're kind of just left in the middle. You have nowhere, like, really where you want to be afterwards. And then plus, if you switch to somewhere else, you're going to have to redo all those things again afterwards. Make new bonds and all that. Say, Iino-san, aren't you going to quit? Quit what? The disciplinary committee. I love that sassy look right on her face. She said, quit what? Look at that. What's so fun about it? Everyone hates what you do. And the harder you try, the more flack you get. Wouldn't you prefer just to have fun? Personally, I think you should seriously reconsider if what you're doing right now is really what's best for you. You're right. It's not fun. It hurts to be hated by everyone, and it can be scary at times too. But I have a dream. Hold on. Martin Luther King, hold on. If everyone could follow the rules, then everyone would be able to have fun together. Okay. I love it, I love it. If it means being able to make a world like that, then I don't mind being the bad guy. She's reminding me of a certain individual. It reminds me of a certain individual. That's my go MC. Listen, man, if I ever find out that she's a Faith fan under the radar, man, listen, might have to jump in the top 3. I don't know. If it means being able to make a world like that, I don't mind being the bad guy, dog. Oh, Akasaka. And it's a completely inner character to have those kind of views as well. And this is the young sunflower little of back then, man. Like, I'll be cheering you on behind the scenes then. And it looks like it's gonna switch over now. I'm surprised Ishigami never actually choked out a student, aside from what happened with Ultimo's boyfriend. Like, man, listen, this is one of those things where you have to accept the delinquent inside of your soul. If you're seeing things like that, you gotta box out people. It don't matter. Like, you have to let the rage consume you. You can't let somebody be doing that to Iino. Ain't no way. Like, every time I would see that in the flashbacks or in just the little moments that hint back to the middle school and stuff, from the previous chapters, it's like you take it as the community, okay, wait, no, we're not gonna let that happen. But when you see this directly being confronted now you see the seriousness of what she's really been going through. And the fact that now that we're getting the full context of it, of how Ishigami now knows of what kind of person Iino is, to see someone put the effort into becoming the person she wants to be to make things better for everyone around. But because others don't understand that, and he's the only one that does, to be there for her like that, man, like. But nah, I would have strangled half the school for doing some stuff like that, man. That's the kind of person that Ishigami was. He supported Miko-chan from behind the scenes. Hey, Osaragi-chan. Man. Hey, Osaragi-chan, why don't you wear contacts? I'm sure you'd be popular. I don't want to be popular. Once you turn someone down, they'll just start stalking you or start spreading rumors behind your back. Love is an obsession. It can get tiresome to have too many people obsessing over you. Yeah, I understand that. That's why I'm fine with how I look right now. It's kind of nuts, actually, when Tsubame is actually saying it, given the fact that we now know how previous relationships had went and stuff, you know. Well, at least the one that we do know of, and then, of course, all the other times where if she rejected somebody, they kind of just walked out on their life and stuff. But yeah, that's why I'm fine with the way how I look right now. I want to be loved for who I am, and I want to love someone for who they are. I want to find someone to love and have that someone love me back. But we know, man, with their circumstances and the way that things transpire with their parents, it can really warp a kid's mind afterwards of how things have played out. Because I'm pretty sure this, I don't know if this is like, we have to keep reading, but I'm pretty sure this had to have been right before, you know, things had broken out for her life. You see, yeah, listen, man, I'm grabbing that whole desk and whipping people, man. You don't do that to Iino, man. Like, it's a thing too. Kids, they just don't understand. They just don't take the time to understand each other. But that just comes down to humans as well. We don't want to take the time to really understand somebody. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing stuff like this. I had always believed that love wasn't free. Up until now, whenever anyone did anything nice for me, it was because they expected love in return. And of course, you see that being Ino's desk and stuff in her book, having been tossed over and everything. But he wasn't like that. And I thought that was wonderful. Look at it go sit down into it. And Osaragi, of course, was the one noticing that Ishigami was doing all that stuff afterwards. This is the type of person that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. This was the type of person that I wanted to be loved by. But that's the thing, he didn't see completely. He was there into helping you out and stuff, but it was different with him and Iino, man. Someday your efforts will be remembered someday, man. And of course, man, what is it with the damn doors, dude? What is it with characters when they're right in, like, next to a door, and the pan out and the pain? Oh my god, Akasaga, dude. The pan out shot, dog. Look at this. He goes and slips the note inside Ino's desk. And of course, she's like right there watching it all happen. Now we're seeing it from, like, instead of from behind her back, now we're seeing it as we're the one facing. I'm watching it played out. But well, look, someone left this in my desk. Stop. There's someone out there looking out for me. Just the thought alone is enough to keep me going. Bro, if Iino were to ever find out that it was Ishigami, I like, that's gonna be the moments where I'm like, I'm just gonna say, Ishigami, you gotta say the words, man. Like, one of them has to say the words. The moment that when they find out, or at least when Iino finds out that it was him, like, you gotta make the ultimate attack. You gotta go for the one shot knockout just to get him to understand. I'm just so happy right now. The girl, bro. Yeah, that made for a much prettier story. I couldn't help but think that they made a good couple, so I ended up taking a step back. Right now, Miko-chan was the one who needed saving, and Ishigami was the one who could save her. My guy with the DS. he lost the Vita. He brought the DS, man. Hey, when you lose out with Sony, you win with Nintendo, man. Look at that. Hey, you better be careful. You might break the screen. If that was the case, then I was fine with it. But then that fateful day came along. I genuinely hate Akasaka. You're lucky there's an ocean that separates you and I. Because I would German suplex you right now, man. To make me remember the moment that just turned Ishigami's life upside down until the man himself, Miyuki, came through. Pain. What I do remember is wanting to turn this guy's face into something that no girl would ever want to come close to. Memories, bro. Like, oh, and the thing is, man, he should have. He really should have. Looking back on it, he really should have. Oh. Bro, we're getting extinction. We're seeing it right now. As Iino was like following Ishigami right before he was gone. Ishigami, is it true? Were you really stalking Ultimo-san? Did you really punch Ogino-kun? Is it all true? That's none of your business. What the heck? I see. Is that how it is? Fine then. Oh my god, Akasaka! If this is what caused Iino's flip in terms of how she looked at Ishigami back then, oh my god. Fine then, sue yourself. But then we knew that she was trying to help him out after the fact, man. But now you're seeing like, oh. Pain. That's not right, Miko-chan. You have to believe in him. Yeah, because Osaragi, remember, she more or less anyone would know. There's no, like, we know Ishigami clearly wasn't doing none of that stuff. That's fact. But Osaragi, the thing is too, that she, because of the way that Ishigami went to help out Iino in her time of need and stuff, I think just that alone should tell anybody that Ishigami's not that kind of person. And Iino began, because of the way that she handles friendships and all that, because she wasn't able to actually, like, you know, see the other side until after everything played out. But that's again coming from Osaragi's point of view too, though. You have to support him. That's the role you need to fill. And Miko-chan, are you really okay with this? He was the one who supported you all this time, and now it's time to repay the favor. I'm pretty sure Ishigami barely knows that I exist, but he's been watching you, Miko-chan. That is something only you can do. Miko-chan, please be there for him. Oh my god, dude. But obviously, of course, when we look at it afterwards in the context of the backstory itself afterwards, right, from the Ishigami moments during Sports Festival, that when Miyuki obviously went to go and help and stuff, there was parts where Iino was trying to gain the truth afterwards about it. So you could look at it as that was her time of trying to support him and everything. But the fact that we're switching out from the backstory back to now the present and stuff, I figured we would actually get to see more from that point of view from Iino and everything. But now I think it's too late. You can say you like Ishigami all you want, but now it's too late. I just can't help but wonder where you've been this whole time. Well, in the end, it's not like I ever did anything to help Ishigami either, so I really have no right to criticize her. In any way, trying to bring Ishigami and Tsubame-senpai together was my attempt to make up for my past mistakes. But to this day, I still can't help but think. If I had been in Miko-chan's place, I would have definitely. Oh man, I mean, it hit me with the eyes too. Because Iino wasn't able to make that jump, but because of how she felt about Ishigami, if she was in that position, she would have gone and done everything she could to go and clear his name. But because she wasn't viewed in that same way, it's like she almost had no right to be by his side. But those are feelings that are that one side I love. I'm telling you right now, that thing it's pain, absolute pain, especially when the other person doesn't realize that you feel that way about them. Love is an obsession. Love is an obsession. It's something that you're stuck with for the rest of your life. Osaragi of the Ishii x Tsubasa faction. Her true feelings are. And then next time, where are Ishigami and Iino now? Which that's oh man. You see, if we're gonna go and check out how what's going, you know what? I think honestly, if we're gonna go and see how things are with Iino, I would have preferred it being Miyuki being the one to go and see her because again of the, Kage Ishigami, the friendship that they have there and stuff. They look out for one another. Same thing right now that we saw with Miyuki and Iino. Because I think from that point of view, especially with her and Miyuki, Iino might give more perspective of what she felt like during those moments and stuff with Osaragi, and maybe getting to see the full point of view from how she was able to go and actually make the effort to try and help out with Ishigami's case and what happened then with Ultimo and Iino. But then again, if you're saying where are Ishigami and Iino right now, if Ino's left crying somewhere and Ishigami's the one that finds her, I think Ishigami honestly is gonna say that the person that gave her that envelope was him. And if he actually says that, then Iino has to literally go for like the greatest uppercut in the history of love to just get the point across with him. But then at the same time, the frustrations though with Osaragi, like you could definitely understand that because when you're looking at it from the outside perspective, like Iino just she walked off after what Ishigami said in that moment as he was being taken away is like it's none of your business. But we have to remember what she was doing. She's like following the rules, all that. She was trying to make it a world where things were better for everybody around. And the fact that somebody was straying off that path and didn't want her help, again, because of her lack of making friends and all that, she just gave up at that point. But Osaragi, someone who had common sense in regards to all that, she knew that if she was in that position with Ishigami and stuff, right? With the envelope and just looking out for her and all that, because of the fact that he believed in her, she should have had that same belief back for him. And if Osaragi was in that position, she was the one that would have actually had made things easier for Ishigami and got him out of that situation and probably prevented, from spreading out the way that it did afterwards. Because obviously then we saw later in the story that it took Tsubame doing what she did to make now his life back to normal, or at least make it somewhat positive so he can enjoy the rest of his time in high school. But then that's when you look at it afterwards too, because it's like, did she do that to protect herself from being hurt? That's like, there's just so much when you really look at it. You know what I'm saying? There's so much when you look at it in terms of like how everything comes together from so many avenues. And whether you think they're right or wrong in that sense, it's like you don't really like, you can't criticize somebody's for their actions and how they handle things back then. You really can't. Because then when you're seeing from the point of view of the other person afterwards, then you know for a fact, like, okay, like Osaragi, yeah, her feelings are messed up. And again, I said this on many occasions now, her family's breakup and everything definitely played a part in how she viewed things afterwards, and doesn't think she should be happy. But had she been in that position, we know what she would have done. She can't come to accept that part of her. But man, my guy was willing to shoulder the burden of a lie. And we saw how that all played out afterwards, man. But now I don't know what's going to happen here, because if Ishigami runs into Iino, then I feel like we're going to get closer and closer to, that relationship possibly maybe happening. Like the truth of their love and stuff for one another might coming more to light. But right now, the big thing is that we have to find out whether or not Iino's going to discard the fake bull. I know of the tale of the bamboo cutter and stuff. There's some stuff that has come true and some that hasn't. I mean, one of the biggest things we can say right now that hasn't happened was technically Ishigami's quote-unquote death. Like, if you know about the tale and based on the characters, who they are and stuff, Ishigami's been saved already. There's no worry on that. Kaguya and Miyuki are together right now. It's a matter of, can they defeat Kaguya's family to ensure that that relationship will last a lifetime? That's going to be forever, because, But now it's like the big thing. Does Iino discard Osaragi? Or does she take the time to get to know her as well? Does Osaragi take the time to get to know Iino better? Because I think, honestly, like, you can say a friendship is fake and whatever, but at the end of the day, regardless if it's out of love, out of hate, whatever, bonds are formed. And once a bond is formed, it cannot be broken. It can't be severed. It could be as thin as string. It will always be there. No matter how many times you try to gnaw at it, cut it off, chew it away, it will always be there in some form. So that with that fact, man, I do think that Iino and Osaragi have to try and get this thing back together, their friendship. But then, of course, with with Ishigami as the love interest for the both of them, it's like, that's pain, man. Akasaka is absolute pain. I believe there's a vision, though, that Akasaka has in terms of trying to make things better. I don't want it to go down the 203, 204 path of sadness and sorrow, but we'll have to see. But let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below in regards to this week's chapter of Kaguya-sama. Again, after seeing this whole thing go down with Osaragi, getting the point of view of what she was seeing, what was going on and stuff, in regards to what's happening with Iino, what was going on with Ishigami, like, let me know, does things now clear up any misunderstandings you may have had with her character whatsoever, and can the bond between her and Iino still be resolved? Can that be fixed? Right? Like, I definitely do think that there is still something there for the two of them to still coincide and be back to, being, like, actually making true friends, to be fair, in this scenario. Right? Like, acquaintances as they were, more than friends, but to actually now become friends, I think they have to have that fight and the differing views and stuff, because otherwise it wouldn't be a true friendship. But then we have to see now what's going to happen here, because if it's Iino and Ishigami meeting up instead of Miyuki to go and see her, then things are about to progress to the next stage, and the truth could actually be revealed to Iino very, very soon, if Ishigami has to try and, get her spirits back up. Because right now, she's probably crying her eyes out, and I'm not ready to see that, man. Like, we're delaying the inevitable pain, but in due time, it's gonna have to come, sadly. But again, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Where do you see things going now next chapter? Like, do we get Ishigami telling Iino, like, now that he's the one that provided that envelope, or something else is going to end up happening? Let me know down in the comments. Like the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new here. If you want to be part of the weekly experience when it comes to my coverage of Kaguya-sama week in, week out. Subscribe if you haven't already. Click on the bell, Shandora, save the day with everything that goes on the channel. Again, if you're new to the channel, you want to see the past reactions, the catch-up video and stuff to Kaguya-sama. If you haven't seen all that, go and check it out. With that being said, I'll catch you guys here next Wednesday or next Thursday, whenever the chapter comes out. And we'll see whether or not the happiness will come back in my life, or more sadness awaits us. I kept it together today, but if we switch to Iino, I don't know. It might be difficult. But until next time, we'll see what awaits us from Akasaka. So, Commodore signing off. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, take care. Going crazy, yeah, we going crazy.